Hey guys, it's Liezl Jayne. Today I'm going to be showing you this makeup look. My everyday makeup look tutorial. It's not really a tutorial. Well, it is, but it's my tutorial. I'm not like a makeup artist or expert or anything, so this is just what I do. And yeah, I've been getting really into makeup lately, the last couple of months, so I thought it'd be really fun to show you guys what my everyday makeup look is. And yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking me, so I hope that you enjoy watching this look. So before I get started on my makeup, I always apply a daily moisturizer and then I use some sort of SPF cream or sunscreen. So important for protecting the skin. So most days I like to use a tinted moisturizer instead of a foundation. It just feels so much lighter on the skin. This is my absolute favorite tinted moisturizer, the BareMinerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. Such a long name. It's so smooth and it literally does what the name describes. It's literally a complexion rescue. It feels super light and I love it for like an everyday foundation type product. What I love to do if I want like a little more coverage is to layer this. I think it actually layers really well and it still feels light. So I usually do a double layer around my eyes, my nose, my forehead, and I'm using the shade Ginger 06 just in case you wanted to know. I'll also blend it into my neck a bit if I need to. Then I'll apply some concealer. Okay, just a little disclaimer, this video is actually not sponsored. I know I'm going to use a couple of BareMinerals and Honest Beauty products in this video, but I really just actually wanted to show you my favorite products and what I really use on an everyday basis. Anyway, concealer is the BareMinerals Concealer in the shade Medium. I just use a little bit under and around my eyes and on my eyelids, and then also a tiny little bit on my nose. I have a birthmark on my forehead, and then I'll go ahead and set my concealer right away with some powder so it doesn't crease. I also like to use the powder to prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow. If you struggle to blend your eyeshadow, I find that it really helps me using the powder on the eyelids first. It just like makes a good canvas for the eyeshadow, you know. I am using, what a surprise, the BareMinerals Mineral Veil translucent finishing powder. My favorite brush to set my powder with is actually a brush from Honest Beauty. It's their finishing brush. It's a really good brush, guys. Probably my favorite powder brush that I own. Actually, probably my favorite brush that I own at all. And I only apply powder where I actually need it, around my eyes to set my concealer, and then just a little bit on my T-zone. Next, I'll start with my eyeshadow. I'm using the Bare Naturals eye palette from BareMinerals. I like to start with a light shade to kind of prime my eyelids again and use it as a base color. Again, I find doing this really helps me to blend the more pigmented eyeshadow colors more easily. I'm using the shade Cream to start with. So I'll go ahead and apply that in my inner corners as well as all over my eyelids. I'm using the BareMinerals Detail Shader brush to apply my shadow. And then I'm going in with my main color and I'm starting to apply that in the creases with the same brush. I'm using the shade Pale Silk. It's such a pretty warm tone and I just love it at the moment. It's probably my favorite shade out of all my eyeshadows and my favorite shade on this palette. So after I feel like I've applied enough product to each eyelid, then I'll go ahead and use my eyeshadow blender brush from the Body Shop and I just blend along the creases, and also blend in small circles to make sure that it's all even and blended, you know. And I like to do both eyes at the same time to make sure that they're as similar as possible, especially if I'm working with very pigmented eyeshadows, and just, you know, just keep blending it out. You can never blend too much with eyeshadow. Next, I'm taking the smallest little dab of the shade Head Over Heels to darken my creases ever so slightly. This is literally the smallest amount. I don't want to spend like too long doing my eyelids, my eyeshadow, but this just adds a little bit of dimension and I'll blend that into my creases as well. Then I'm using that same light shade Cream again to lighten the corners of my eyes and also my arch, you know, after I've done the other darker eyeshadows. And then I'm using the small little eyeshadow brush from the Body Shop to add just a little touch of that pink toned eyeshadow Pale Silk and also the Head Over Heels under my eyes just to bring that color under there. Just a touch really quickly and then I'll give that another quick little blend with the bigger brush from the Body Shop as well. I like to make the center of my eyelids just a tiny bit brighter. So over the center of my eyelids, I'm using the shade Mixologist from the same palette that I've been using. It's a really pretty shade that I think pairs perfectly with the main pink shade that I've been using, and it's got just a touch of shimmer in it, not a lot, just a little bit. So I won't blend that into my creases, just over the main eyelid area in the center. Okay, then I'm not like an eyeliner expert and using a liquid liner takes a really long time for me to do. So I usually save that for, a going out look or, a special occasion if I really want to look good. So for a much easier, quicker eyeliner option, I actually like to use a super dark or black eyeshadow with a very fine eyeshadow brush. I'm using the shade Blackout from the same palette, and I'll just apply that in a thin line above my lashes, where you'd use liquid liner. And I'll tell you why this is so much easier, because I feel like it doesn't have to be so perfect because I'm going to blend it a little bit, and if I happen to mess it up on a certain day, then I can just blend it into my other eyeshadow and make it more of a smoky eye really easily. It's super quick to do that, but I still feel like it kind of gives me that eyeliner effect and enhances my eyes a bit more to make them a bit bigger. If I'm in a rush, then I'll just leave out this part, the whole eyeliner thing. Although if I do have time, then I do really like to do it. And I'll just do a little touch at the end of each eyelid, usually not like a whole big wing thing, but just a little touch there just to kind of like complete the eyeliner. And then I'll just lightly blend over all of that with my big eyeshadow blending brush from the Body Shop. And then I'll just head straight into my regular eyeliner, which I like to use on my upper waterline. My favorite eyeliner to use currently is, and it's actually been my favorite for a while, is the BareMinerals Round the Clock Intense Cream Glide Eyeliner in the shade Midnight. I really like this eyeliner a lot because it doesn't make my eyes burn, and I find that eyeliners that aren't natural that I use on my upper waterline really make my eyes burn, but this one doesn't, so I really like it. Then onto mascara, probably my favorite makeup item ever. I'm using the BareMinerals Flawless Definition Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black, and I'll apply about 2 coats of that. I've always really liked the fuller lash look, so I'll usually apply 2 coats to kind of thicken it up, but yeah, that's just what I like to do. And then just a tiny little touch of that on my lower lashes, just a little bit on the bottom lashes. I don't do a lot there at all because I don't want it, to be like overpowering, but just a touch just to complete the eye look. Okay, then we seriously need to try and even out these eyebrows, which I know they're uneven. I get comments about it all the time. And I'm trying to learn how to tame them and even them out better, so I'm getting there. So I've been using the Honest Beauty Brow Filler Pencil in the shade Warm Auburn. So I'll start brushing my brows with the spoolie side. The one side is like a spoolie brush, and then the other side is the eyebrow pencil. And then I'll use the pencil side. I don't like to draw like my entire eyebrow. I try to keep them looking more natural. So I just draw a single line under each eyebrow to give them a bit more definition. That's like the most important part for me. I just feel like it makes them look a little bit cleaner. And then I'll draw just a few little lines in an upward motion just to fill out my brows a bit and to give them, and to even them out a bit. But really, I'm super gentle when I do this. You're just like filling out the little gaps. And I'll also fill in the sparse areas a bit too. But I actually really like this eyebrow pencil a lot because it's very subtle and it just comes out very natural looking in my opinion. And then after I've applied, the pencil, then I'll brush them out again with the spoolie side. After I'm done doing the whole eyebrow pencil thing, I like to use my MAC eyebrow gel to set them a bit. It's called the Pro Longwear Waterproof Brow Set Brow Gel. This is a serious makeup necessity for me because my eyebrows can get crazy on me, seriously. So I'm not even kidding. So I have to use this. I use the shade Bold Brunette. But I also really like that it adds a little bit of color too. It makes my eyebrows just a little bit darker. And I actually start brushing them in my arch because I like to get more product there and less product at the start of my brow. It just helps to give a more natural effect, I think. And I always brush them in sort of an upward motion to, just like go along with the natural way that your hair grows, that your little eyebrow hairs grow. Also, you may have noticed, this is the only unnatural product that I use, but I just really like this one. It really works for me and I haven't found anything better yet, so still using this MAC eyebrow gel. Okay, then highlighter. I am obsessed with highlighter at the moment. Who isn't, right? So I've got a few highlighters that I really like, but I use my 2 favorites most often. So I'll use one of these 2, sometimes both combined because why not? I'm using the BareMinerals Invisible Glow Highlighter. I use it in the shade Fair to Light, and Also, I'm also using the Honest Beauty Midnight Reflection Luminizing Powder Highlighter. So I started with the BareMinerals one, and then I'm sort of finishing off with the Honest Beauty one, but you can just use one. Sometimes I just use one, sometimes I use both, whatever. I always start with the tip of my nose because I just think it's the cutest thing. It kind of gives that little button nose effect. It's so cute. And then I draw a little thin line down the center of my nose, just really thin, and a little bit on top of my lip on the Cupid's bow, and then a little bit on my chin, and then the most important part on my cheekbones. Gotta get that highlight, you know. I just like to make a tiny little line going slightly upwards on the top of my cheekbone. So as you can see, I start applying the highlighter with my finger, and then I'll usually give it a light little brush to make it look more natural, and I'll usually apply a little bit more on my cheekbones with the brush too, because, you know, why not? I'm using my BareMinerals Seamless Shaping and Finish brush. It's a good brush. And then I go straight onto bronzer. This is just going to warm up the skin and give it a bit of dimension. I am obsessed with this Honest Beauty bronzer. It's called their Dawn Reflection Luminizing Powder. And I'll just apply that with the same Honest Beauty finishing brush that I used earlier to apply my translucent powder. Just up and down my cheeks in a line and up to my ears. And also a thin line along my jawline and a bit down my neck too, you know, to blend it into my neck and just make sure that my face matches my neck. And then also just a little bit along my hairline on my forehead. Okay, I don't always do blush, but when I do, I think it's so cute. I just put a little dab onto my cheekbones and blend it slightly upwards towards my ears. I think it just gives such a cute little flush of color and gives like a nice healthy glow. I find it easiest to smile a little bit to find the center of my cheeks, and that's where I apply it. And I'm using the BareMinerals Ready Blush Powder in the shade The One. Okay, lastly, onto the lips. I always like to save that for last because then I feel like it just pulls the whole look together. Okay, I have been freaking beyond obsessed. I know I've been using the word obsessed a lot, but this lip liner is incredible. This lip liner from BareMinerals, oh my gosh, you guys, it's literally, it's insanely good. I love this shade as well. It's perfectly natural, but it just adds a little bit of, you know, that extra something. It's called their Under Over Lip Liner. It's a matte lip liner, and I'm using the shade Borderline. So I just line my lips and then I fill them in a bit. And then after that, I will do a little bit of gloss. I've been getting really back into gloss lately, which I haven't worn in like a long time. It's been a minute. But I've just been getting really into it lately. I think it looks really cute and fresh. And my favorite gloss at the moment is my BareMinerals Moxie Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Charmer. It's a perfect match for the liner. So perfect. So I'll just apply some of that and then dab it out a bit to make it look sort of as natural as possible. I don't like to add a huge amount of gloss, just a little bit. So I'll just put a little bit on and then like dab it out a bit. So that's my current favorite way to do my makeup, and I've done it so often that I can easily get it done in under 10 to 15 minutes, 15 minutes max. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing my current favorite everyday makeup look. I'm just being so extra right now, lying on my fur cushion on the couch. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing my current everyday makeup look. What are the products that I like to wear on my face. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of this type of thing, more makeup looks, more of these types of videos, then let me know. And yeah, let me know in the comments, and make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'm also going to put all of the products that I used today over on my blog for you, so there will be a link to that in the description box for you. You can go check out all the products there. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon.